Hello, everybody. I hope you've had a really lovely week and I hope you've been able to explore round and about in the wonderful weather that we've been having. So I went on a big explore with my husband and we went to look at some woods near us that we haven't been to before. And we found that there's lots and lots of little animals in the woods. And one of the things that we found was that there's a frog pond just for frogs. Can you believe it? And it's really big. But there's also other things there in the woods, lots of wildlife. And there are special people who take care of all the wildlife in the woods. So I thought today it would be a really nice thing to sing about frogs and also the other things that we might find in the wild places near where we live. And I hope you've got somewhere like that you can go to. But I know at school you all go and visit Westbere Copse, and down there they have lots of wild things. They have frogs and newts and bats and mice and rats and all sorts of things, as well as butterflies and ladybirds and really, really interesting things, all living in the wild. All living in the wild in London where we live. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so we're going to start with the frogs today. So get ready. You can maybe have your instruments if you want them. Okay. Frogs in the water, swim, swim, swim. Frogs in the water, swim, swim, swim. Frogs in the water, swim, swim, swim. Swim, swim, swim. Now, the frogs on the bank, they go hop, hop. You can hop up and down. I'm not going to hop up and down because I'm in my office and I'll crash my head on something, which you can't see, but I can. But you can hop up and down at home if it's safe. Okay, very good. Frogs on the bank, hop, hop, hop. Frogs on the bank, hop, hop, hop. Frogs on the bank, hop, hop, hop. Hop, hop, hop. Now what about when they're sitting on a lily pad? They maybe go splash, splash, splash with their flippers. Can you splash, splash, splash with your flippers? That's quite hard to say. Splash with your flippers. Very good. Not flash with your slippers. No, not that one. Now, off we go then. Frogs on the lily pad, splash, splash, splash. Frogs on the lily pad, splash, splash, splash. Frogs on the lily pad, splash, splash, splash. Splash, splash, splash. And then we've got frogs on the speckled log. What do? That's right, they just eat all day. Little bugs, maybe some worms, maybe a fly. Who knows? Thank goodness we're not frogs. I wouldn't want to eat those things. No, thanks. Right. Frogs on the speckled log, eat, eat, eat. Frogs on the speckled log, eat, eat, eat. Frogs on the speckled log, eat, eat, eat. Eat, eat, eat. And I hope you found some good instruments to make some good sounds for all those different things. Now then, I think that we're going to go and have a look at some other things that we might find in the wood. So what I did when I got home from the woods, I went onto the internet and I found some pictures of the things that we could find in my woods. And I thought that I would share it with you. So I've printed it out now and I'm going to show it to you now. But I've also done it onto a document which I'm going to send to Chloe and she can send it to all of you. And if you want to, you could ask Mummy and Daddy to print it out and maybe you could do some drawings that look like them. Or maybe you could go and see if you could find these animals in woods or wild places near where you live. So here they are. Now, I'm just going to take something off my computer so I can see. That's better. Now, this one is a common frog. That's a common frog that we find in the UK. Obviously, in other parts in the world, there's very exotic frogs. But this is the sort of frog that we find in the UK. So if you went into a park or a wood near us, then you would find that type of frog. Or maybe you have this type of frog that comes to your garden. If you have a pond in your garden, you may very well have that. And this is a common newt, which are also amphibians like frogs. But they have a very long tail. Do you remember when the frog was a tadpole? He had a tail. Do you remember when we did that book? So this is a little bit, must be related to a frog. He has a tail, but it stays there all the time. And then here we've got a woodpecker. Now, if you go into the wood, you will definitely hear a woodpecker because they literally peck at trees and they go... It's like ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, a really strong tapping sound. So that is a woodpecker. And that one is a great spotted woodpecker, which is very, very common in the woods of England. Now, if I come over here, this is a type of bat. And this one, they have a special habitat in the woods near where I live. And it's called a pipistrelle bat. And you know what? I think in the evening time, just when it gets to it getting dark, not dark, 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 but it's not light anymore, what we call twilight or dusk, you can see these bats. I can hear them as well. They have a very, very big squeak like a mouse. They look actually like a mouse, but with wings. And then the other animal that they have in the woods, and you might have one of these in your garden as well. I had one in my garden and it ate all the seed from my bird feeder. Cheeky mouse. This is a field mouse. There he is. I actually sat in the garden one day and watched the little mouse run and up the bird feeder. I don't know how he managed it, and get the seeds and eat them. So he must have been a very happy little mouse. But it was very, very interesting watching him, so I just let him eat the seeds. So there we are. But this one, this is a field mouse, and here he's in a field with wheat. They're called ears of wheat. Now, obviously, they're not ears at all like we have on our head, but they are called, the ends of the wheat where the actual seeds are called ears of corn. So anyway, I hope you have fun with these sheets. This is actually two. I've stuck them together so it's easy for me to hold up. And maybe you can do some drawings, like I said. But anyway, we're going into the woods and we're going to have a look, see if we can find those things. Down in the woods, early in the morning, who can see some of these? Okay, we're not going to go in a tractor in the woods like that tune maybe suggested to you that we were. We're going to go for a safari. Down in the woods where nobody goes, there's a great big frog washing his clothes with a scrubba-dubba here and a scrubba-dubba there. That's the way he's washing his clothes, with a eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie. That's the way he's washing his clothes. Now we come to the newt. Down in the woods where nobody goes, there's a lovely newt washing his clothes with a scrubba-dubba here and a scrubba-dubba there. That's the way he's washing his clothes, with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie. That's the way he's washing his clothes. Now we come to the woodpecker. Down in the forest where nobody goes, there's a great spotted woodpecker washing his clothes, with a scrubba-dubba here and a scrubba-dubba there. That's the way he's washing his clothes, with an eye. tie, oogie boogie woogie with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie. That's the way he's washing his clothes. Down in the wood where nobody goes, there's a pipistrelle bat washing his clothes with a scrub-a-dub-a here and a scrub-a-dub-a there. That's the way he's washing his clothes with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie. That's the way he's washing his clothes. Down in the woods where nobody goes, there's a little tiny mouse washing her clothes with a scrub-a-dub-a here and a scrub-a-dub-a there. That's the way she's washing her clothes with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie with an eye. Tie, oogie boogie woogie. That's the way she's washing her clothes. There we are. And I'm going to put all those lovely animals down there. And we're going to have a look at a book. Now, where is it? Oh, here it is. Now, this has got some of the things that we've seen in the woods when we went on our walk. Not everything, but also it's got some other things which we might have seen, but actually we didn't. Because it's got worms. It says worms wiggle. Now, look at the worms. They're sticking out of the ground and they're just near a daisy. Can you see? But look, there's a bird coming to eat them. Quick, worms! Worms! Wiggle! Do you know what the birds do? It's very clever because worms like it when it's rainy and wet, and they come up near to the surface of the ground because they live underground so that they can just squiggle around in the mud. Well, what the birds do is they tap on the ground like this. Now, if you were a worm and you heard that just over your head, you would think, ooh, it's raining. I can go and get all nice and squelchy in the mud. And you'd get your head up to the ground and pluck. There would be a bird plucking you out of the ground, and that will be the end of you. So birds are very clever. Anyway, there's the wiggly worm. Now, bugs. Oh, we saw lots of bugs in the wood. Look here. There's an owl there. And there's ladybirds and beetles and spiders. Bugs. Let's see what they do. They jiggle. Oh, I have to just open this out because it's not open enough. Now I wonder if that is a moth or a butterfly. We don't know because we can't see a cocoon or a chrysalis anywhere. But look, they're jiggling. Now here's the frog. Ribbit, ribbit. Frogs. Look, there's a nice bug he wants to eat. He's sitting on a lily pad. Oh, what's that? So I have to turn it around. A fish! Look, there's a beautiful lily on the lily pads. And the sun. I wonder if the sun is coming up, in which case it's sunrise, or if the sun is going down, in which case it's sunset. Well, we don't know. But anyhow, here's the frog, and he's going to leap. Oh, he's leapt out of the page. He's leapt out of the book. Oh, he's gone a bit floppy now. Now I just have to hold him up with my finger, I think. There, he's leaping out of the book. Oh, I'm glad it's not a real one. I wouldn't want a real frog leaping round my office. Oh, no, thank you. Now, what's this? Caterpillar. And look, do you remember we've done lots about caterpillars? Caterpillars are eating machines, and so look, he's just eating. And look, he's creeping along the leaf. Can you see him creeping along? Oh, here's a snake. I didn't see a snake yesterday. Thank goodness. Now, snakes slide. Can you see all of the snake? I'm going to just pull back a bit so that we can see the whole book at once, hopefully. Oops, there we are. Snakes slide. Let's open the page again. Slide. There we are. Now, what's on this page? Seagulls? Well, I didn't see a seagull yesterday. I saw lots of other birds, but not a seagull. But seagulls glide. Pew, pew. Oh, he's coming towards you. Pew, pew. There. Now, what's on the next page? Puppies. Do you have a puppy at home? There's a cow. Puppies. Bounce. Look, they're bouncing over after the ball. Can you see them? Look. Oh my goodness, they're bouncing really high, aren't they? I wonder how many puppies there are. Look, there's 1, 2, 3, and there is the mama dog, and she's got one eye on them. She's making sure they don't get up to any mischief. And look, up here in the tree, I can see lots of apples, and I can see a bird, but I can't tell what sort of bird it is. But it looks like he's enjoying watching the puppies going, bounce! Oh my goodness, they're jumping so high. Look at them. But kittens, the kittens, look, they've got the same ball, but they're not doing anything with the ball. They're going to do something with the box. They're going to pounce into the box. Pounce into the box. And look, the mama cat has got 1, 2, 3, 4 kittens. And 2 of them are quite similar markings, and the other 2 are a bit like tigers, a bit like their mama. Oh, what do lions do? Lions are in the jungle. We didn't see a lion yesterday, thank goodness. And we didn't see a big parrot either. Look, the lion is stalking. I'm going to turn the book a bit sideways so you can see him. And I'm going to turn it a bit sideways this way so you can see him coming out of all the leaves. Oh. And the last page is about a little child. But it's winter time. Look, can you see? It's all snowy. Can you see the snow on the trees? And there's a snowman in the field and a scarecrow. It says, but I walk. Walk to school. Or maybe this little person is walking home. We don't know. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that book. It's got lots of really clever things with the paper, isn't it? Popping out. I do enjoy a pop-out book. Anyway, I will see you next week. Have a really great week. Enjoy your pictures of all the wildlife and have a fabulous time. Bye-bye. Lots of love.